Alright, place your bets on who will win on this episode. The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Golden Freddy and Cassidy run away from the cornucopia. Oswald, Bonnie, and Susie work together to get as many supplies as possible. Andrew takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Jessica runs away from the cornucopia. Millie also takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Dylan runs away from the cornucopia. Elizabeth runs away with a lighter and some rope. Michael clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Gregory and Foxy run away from the cornucopia. Sarah grabs a jar of fishing bait while Freddy gets fishing gear. William, Charlie, Mrs. Afton, and Cassie run away from the cornucopia. Evan steps off his podium too soon and blows up. Fritz and Gabriel fight for a bag. Fritz gives up and retreats. Jeremy finds a bag full of explosives. Chica finds a canteen full of water. Day 1 in the Hunger Games. Golden Freddy stabs Gregory with a tree branch. Andrew tends to Millie's wounds. William stalks Chica. Fritz sprains his ankle while running away from Michael. Dylan receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Gabriel collects fruit from a tree. Bonnie stalks Cassie. Foxy pushes Jeremy off of a cliff during a knife fight. Susie throws a knife into Sarah's head. Elizabeth makes a slingshot. Freddy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Mrs. Afton chases Jessica. Oswald tries to sleep through the entire day. Cassidy discovers a river. Charlie questions her sanity. Fallen tributes. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Evan from District 8, Gregory from District 12, Jeremy from District 5, and Sarah from District 10. Well, everyone certainly got very bloodthirsty from the first episode. Night 1. Millie is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Elizabeth receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Bonnie and Mrs. Afton tell stories about themselves to each other. Cassie fends Freddy, Charlie, and Dylan away from her fire. Gabriel sets up camp for the night. Susie and Andrew threaten to double self-termination. It fails and they die. Cassidy and Jessica run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Golden Freddy sets up camp for the night. Margot lets William into his shelter. Well, he has no choice. Chica looks at the night sky. Fritz thinks about winning. Foxy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Oswald is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Day 2 in the Hunger Games. Foxy practices his archery. Michael receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Millie receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Bonnie begs for Oswald to kill him. He refuses, keeping Bonnie alive. Dylan picks flowers. Gabriel's trap kills Cassidy. Golden Freddy kills Jessica as she tries to run. Cassie overhears Freddy and Charlie talking in the distance. Fritz camouflages himself in the bushes. Elizabeth receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Chica makes a slingshot. William scares his wife off. Fallen tributes. 4 more cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Cece from District 4, Andrew from District 8, Cassidy from District 3, and Jessica from District 9. Night 2. Charlie and Oswald fight Michael and Mrs. Afton. Michael and his mom survive. Gabriel is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Freddy, Chica, Dylan, Fritz, and Foxy sleep in shifts. Cassie starts a fire. Bonnie, Millie, and Elizabeth discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. William and Golden Freddy sleep in shifts. Day 3 in the Hunger Games. Gabriel diverts Golden Freddy's attention and runs away. Freddy is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Foxy injures himself. Millie receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Mrs. Afton picks flowers. Chica sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Fritz dies from thirst. Michael receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. William stalks Bonnie. Cassie kills Dylan while he is resting. Elizabeth explores the arena. Fallen tributes. Again, 4 more cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Charlie from District 9, Oswald from District 10, Fritz from District 4, and Dylan from District 11. Night 3! Michael, Elizabeth, and Freddy start fighting, but Elizabeth runs away as Michael kills Freddy. Millie, Foxy, and Chica discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Golden Freddy is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Cassie fends Gabriel, William, and Bonnie away from her fire. Mrs. Afton attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Day 4! In the Hunger Games. Cassie discovers a cave. Mrs. Afton overhears Chica and William talking in the distance. Golden Freddy and Foxy work together for the day. Bonnie receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Michael overhears Gabriel and Millie talking in the distance. Elizabeth tries to spear a fish with a trident. Fallen tribute, 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Freddy from District 1. Night 4. Michael sets up camp for the night. Millie, Golden Freddy, and Cassie discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Bonnie passes out from exhaustion. Foxy and William sleep in shifts. Chica starts a fire. Elizabeth and Gabriel scream for help. Mrs. Afton thinks about home. Day 5. In the Hunger Games. Chica scares Gabriel off. Mrs. Afton picks flowers. Chica throws a knife into Golden Freddy's head. Michael tends to Millie's wounds. Bonnie discovers a cave. Elizabeth overhears William and Foxy talking in the distance. 1 extra cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Fallen tribute, Golden Freddy, District 3. Night 5. William begs for Gabriel to kill him. He refuses, keeping William alive. Bonnie loses sight of where he is. Elizabeth attempts to climb a tree but falls to her death. Foxy and Michael tell stories about themselves to each other. Mrs. Afton quietly hums. Cassie tries to treat her infection. Millie loses sight of where she is. Chica stays awake all night. The feast! The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes' families. Millie decides not to go to the feast. Michael and Foxy track down and kill Cassie. Bonnie, William, Mrs. Afton, Gabriel, and Chica decide not to go to the feast. Day 6! In the Hunger Games. William, Bonnie, and Michael hunt for other tributes. Mrs. Afton and Gabriel work together for the day. Chica dies from thirst. Millie stabs Foxy with a tree branch. Arena event! A tsunami rolls into the arena. William and Gabriel smash their heads together as the tsunami rolls in, leaving them both to drown. Mrs. Afton survives. Bonnie and Michael also smash their heads together as the tsunami rolls in, leaving them both to drown. Millie is swept away. Fallen tributes! 9 total cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Elizabeth from District 6, Cassie from District 12, Chica from District 2, Foxy, same district, William from District 7, Gabriel from District 5, Bonnie from District 1, Michael from District 6, and Millie from District 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 districts are out. That means, spoiler, Mrs. Afton from District 7 is the winner of Episode 2 of Season 2. Mrs. Afton won, Millie 2nd again, Michael 3rd, Bonnie 4th, and Gabriel in 5th. Stay tuned because I think the second season is going to be very, very interesting.